What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're the full Hisuan forms Pokemon team. So, Legend of Arceus brought out a lot of new Hisuan forms, and I thought I'd make a team all based around them with 6 of the Pokemon. Let me know in the comment section what is your favorite Hisuan form. Now, if you haven't got up to some of these bits in Legend of Arceus, I will be actually mentioning some of the newer ones that were released outside of the official trailers. So I thought I'd just give you a heads up about that. If you want to check me out on Twitch, that's where I do all my streams and stuff like that. And let's get into it. We got 2 battles today with this team. My first opponent is Smogon, and this was a battle that was live on my Twitch stream, and it was very, very funny. So the first Pokemon I got is Landorus, called Leaderus, which is actually a pretty good name. Now, my first Pokemon is going to be Bravery. So obviously, Hisuan Bravery is a psychic and flying type. So we're going to have that on this team. Now, once again, you can't actually use these Pokemons in games outside of Legend of Arceus. Hopefully, in the next generation, you will be able to. So I've got Heatwave, Hurricane, Hyper Beam, and Swift Air. I've got a special set with choice specs. And let me tell you what, it doesn't really hit all that hard. Now, I've got Sheer Force as the ability, and I've got Timid Nature, just for a little bit of extra speed. So going for Hurricane here, we got the Landers setting up the Stealth Rocks. I did solid damage there, like you can't complain about that one. Now, I'm going to go for a second Hurricane here. I was thinking about Dynamaxing to boost my speed and to 100% make sure it hits, but then the Landorus used Gravity. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I wonder what they're trying to do here. So maybe get some other Pokemon to be hit by Stealth Rocks or ground type moves. Regardless, the Landorus is going to be fainting there. So they set up Stealth Rocks and then they did Landorus. Next Pokemon, it's another Landorus. It's called Little Timmy's Cat, and that's going to drop my attack. Now, that would have been good, but I'm Pipnite and I'm running a special set. So now we got the Landorus going for a Sword Dance here, and I was actually starting to get a little bit scared. I was like, uh-oh, I think I'm going to get destroyed right here. So going for another Hurricane, it's going to land thanks to Gravity, and guess what? Little Timmy's Cat got dropped in one shot. It was a critical hit. You wouldn't read about it, people. So this is an absolute amazing lead for me here. Next Pokemon is going to be, wow, it's another Landorus, and it's called OU Milks Me. It's kind of true, though. So another Intimidate here. Bravery's got about 1 attack at the moment. I could go for another Hurricane here, or I could maybe try and get a sweep. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and sweep this full Landorus team with a special Bravery. So I hit that, Desperation Dynamax button. It wasn't really desperate because I was winning, but I was quite desperate for the sweep. And there wasn't really a way to actually boost its special attack. Like, I didn't have like a poison type move on this. However, my opponent is also going to Dynamax their Landorus as well. And I was like, man, well, at least I'll be able to tank a hit, right? I just don't know how much damage I'm really going to be able to do because, of course, my choice specs won't really help me out much here. And, coming off its special attack, it's not very good, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to Dynamax my Pokemon. I decided to go in hard for the Bravery sweep, and I was hopeful that with 1 in speed from my Max Airstream, I could outspeed it. Now, the Landorus is going to go for a Max Zeus. That's a move I would have loved to actually have, and now that's going to boost its special attack by 1 stage. Now, interesting enough, thinking about Bravery in its Hisuan type and being Psychic and Flying, I don't think that typing, like when you think about it, I feel like there's more weaknesses for it with Psychic and Flying. Like, I'm just trying to think on my head right now. I'm trying to add them all up in my head, but I feel like there could be definitely more weaknesses, especially with that Psychic typing. Anyway, we're going to go for a Max Strike here, since now I can outspeed it. I'm going to try and drop its speed too, in case things go south, which most of the time always do. And it does pretty limited damage to Landorus, but that's okay. I'm going to drop its speed. Now it's going to eat a berry, which is the same size as its head, and it's going to get a little bit of healing back there. Not too much. It's a nice little citrus berry, or big citrus berry. And here comes a Max Quake. Now, remember the Gravity they set up earlier on? That is going to do a lot of damage and hit me. Now, the bad thing about that, it's going to boost the opponent's special defense by 1 stage. So I'm not going to be doing as much damage as I would have liked. I really need a crit to take this thing out, and I did not get it, unfortunately. So now Landorus can go for another Max Quake, or any type of move here, and take... Oh, they go for another Max Quake. I think this was the last turn of Gravity before it wore off. And that is the end of Bravery, but a pretty good effort there. I nearly took out 3 Landorus. I was close to that Bravery sweep, the special one. Maybe one day I'll be able to get that, or maybe, I don't know, maybe have a look at that set, see if I can boost its special attack or something like that, because it was horrible. So the Gravity wears off, and the next Pokemon I'm going to bring in is going to be Goodra. So Goodra's got a new Hisuan type here. So we've got that as Dragon and Steel, which is a very, very interesting typing. Now, looking at Dragon and Steel, that's going to have more weaknesses as well, which is interesting. I've got a pretty generic set. Well, not super generic, but it's just a troll set. Let's be real. So I've got a Toxic Infestation set. I've also got Life Dew on there. I've got the ability Gooey. I've got the item as Leftovers. And I've also got Swagger too. So I got like lots of scummy status moves all working together at the same time. Now the EV spread on this Gudra is max health and I've got max defense. On the special defensive side, it's very, very bulky, so I didn't really put anything into that. And I went bold nature, like just fully decked it out on the defensive side. Unfortunately, I am versing a powered up Landorus on the special side, so I'm not taking the special moves as good as I really would, if I say if I ran Assault Vest or something like that. Now, we've got everything going at the moment. I know that I can definitely take this out, but it's going to do a huge amount of damage to me, which sucks. And then I got a special defense drop. So, okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to live the next attack from the next Landorus. I could go for a Life Dew, but I feel like I'm just going to get outspared and take it out in the next turn. Anyway, we got rid of the OU Milks Me set, and that's half the Landorus team down, so things are going pretty good at the moment. Now, the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be called Swept by Snom. Now, on that nickname note, I actually have done a Snom sweep, and the Snom took out a G-Max Charizard. Like, if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. That was a long time ago. Very, very early on in the Sword and Shield days. So anyway, we got a attacking move on my Gudra, and it's going to take it out. I did get a Gooey, though, which is pretty good. They went for a U-turn, but the Gooey's not going to matter because they swapped out already. Next Pokemon is going to be Landorus. Now, this nickname here, the only thing I can think of is Garfield. It's like this cat, right, that hates Mondays and likes lasagna. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know if anyone can think of another reference. That'd be awesome. But I don't know. Let me know. So we're gonna go into this is my Arcanine here. Now I've got a little bit of a troll strategy on my team. I've got a troll strategy between two Pokemon that have exactly the same sets, and it actually worked out really, really well. Now, this is actually going to be disguised as my Zoroark. So, Zoroark has got Hyper Voice, Flamethrower, Substitute, and Snarl. My Arcanine has exactly the same set as well, and both of these Pokemon all get the same sort of moves, right? They get exactly those moves, and one of them's got Expert Belt, and one of them's got Throat Spray, and they've got exactly the same EV spreads, max speed and max special attack. Now, I think also Garfield sleeps and stuff as well. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've read one of those for I think I read it when I was a kid. Now it's going to have your Chesabur is going to wake it up there. It's like a crazy bulky set, so I'm getting sort of destroyed at the moment here. Now they're going to swap out their Landorus number 4 and go into not Landorus, which was a Toxapex for some reason. They had a Toxapex as their last Pokemon. So go for another Flamethrower here, or my first Flamethrower, and it did a lot of damage. Like, damn, that's got to be a crit, and it was a crit. I was like, that's pretty good. Can't complain with that one. Now, in this case, I can't really do a great disguise for my Zoroark and my Arcanine at the moment because I just really can't do much of it because it's had a lot of damage already and it's poison. So the whole disguise game isn't going to work very well in this battle. But the next one, it did work a lot better. And in a lot of battles, it worked very, very good. So if you're going to troll someone, try Arcanine and Zoroark. They don't really cover each other on the type weaknesses side. It's not like, let's say, a poison type Pokemon and disguising and stuff like that. But on the move side, they're quite similar, and you can do some good mind games. So that is the end of the Zoroark there. But on Zoroark's typing being the normal and ghost, that's just broken. I'm actually looking forward to using that, coming up with some really evil strategy. So we're gonna go to Arcanine now, actual Arcanine. I'm gonna take some Stealth Rock damage too. Once again, we've got exactly the same set. So Toxapex is doing what it does best and just stall and stall and stall. It's gonna go for Scumful Bonker there and try and poison me, but it's not going to happen because I am running a special icon. Now they're going to swap out there. I'm assuming they're going to like a regenerator heal on themselves, and Swept by Snom is going to come in here and drop my attack, which is once again good because I've got a special set. So we're going to go for the Hyper Voice here, and Hyper Voice does pretty good damage. They're going to go for a Fissure, and it's going to miss. Now, Arcanine's typing, we got that as a Fire and Rock for Hisuian form, which is interesting. Obviously, it's got more you know, it's got more weaknesses there as well, like a disgusting weakness to ground. We won't talk about that one, but once again, it will be very, very interesting to use these Pokemon. Hopefully we can use them in Gen 9, like in the main traditional games. It'll be really cool. So anyway, we got this Toxapex coming here. I'm going to go for another Hyper Voice, trying to break it down. It's going to go for Hydro Pump. It's an offensive set, pretty cool. And unfortunately for the Toxapex, that one is going to slide on by. Now the next Hydro Pump, unfortunately for my Arcanine, is going to connect. And yeah, that's going to take the Arcanine out as well. And another thing with Arcanine being a fire and rock type, it's also 4 times weak to water too. So that's kind of nasty having 2 4 times weaknesses, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Avalugg here. And I really like Avalugg, and I was quite... You know, I was quite happy that it got a new Hisuian form. So I gave it a couple of rock-type moves, considering it's going to be it's an ice and rock-type Pokemon. We got a Rock Polish set with Stone Edge, and also gave it Iceful Sphere and Stomping Tantrum. Ability's going to be Sturdy, and the item's going to be King's Rock. It's a little bit scummy. So I've got Max Speed, Jolly Nature. You kind of need to do that. Even after a Rock Polish, you can still get outsped by stuff. And I've also got Max Attack. Now, it's thick on the defensive side, so you don't really have to worry about that at all. But if you get hit by a special move, it just gets destroyed. So in comes the last Landorus here. I'm going to go for Stomping Tantrum. I wish that Gravity was up, and it's going to do nothing. So I could go for Icicle Sphere here. That'll be very, very good. So going for that outspeeding Landorus, and it's doing pretty good damage here. I need a full-on amount. I probably need like 5 hits in a row to take the Landorus out, and I'm hoping I can actually get that. Unfortunately, I'm only going to get 3 hits. Now the Landorus is going to go for a Toxic. Now this, if you remember, was like a bulky set with like rest. So I will give this opponent their credit. They did have some pretty interesting sets with the Landorus on their team, and their Toxapex was like a more of an offensive one too, a Hydro Pump. I definitely think that was running like max special attack. So going for another Icicle Sphere, outspeeding the Landorus here. Now the Landorus number 5 is going to not be alive, and the last Pokemon here is going to be the Toxapex, which we've seen earlier on. So I'm going to take some more damage here. Now I am worried about Toxapex's Hydro Pump, because if that hits me, I'm going to go down like a sack of potatoes here. So going for the Stone Mist, and it lands. I was like, oh, I wanted to get a boosted Stomping Tantrum, but not going to flinch with it. You wouldn't read about it. So that was pretty funny. So I'm on 69 health. Things are going pretty good at the moment. Go for another Stone Mist, and it lands again. Like, Stone Edge is a funny move, right? When you want it to miss, it doesn't miss, right? And the Toxapex has got a Venoshock strategy, which is really cool. So Baneful Bunker, Venoshock. I think that was fully special. Like something like max health, max special attack. So we're going to go into Lilligant, my final Pokemon. We got the Lilligant as the grass and fighting. I've got a physical set here. We got Leaf Blade, Facade, Sword Dance, and Healing Wish. So first things first, we got the Toxapex going for the Baneful Bunker. I'm going to go for Leaf Blade here. I nearly went for Sword Dance, but I thought they might predict that and just, well, predict a sort of status move there and just attack me. Not Sword Dance, of course, but anyway, you know what I mean. Like, I'm the only one that's probably going to run Lilligant with Sword Dance, right? So go for a Leaf Blade, and that's going to be the end of Toxapex with a crit there. My item was also Scope Lens too, and I was Jolly Nature with max speed and max special attack. Thank you, Smogon, for the battle there. That was some very un-Smogon-like sets. Very, very cool. Let's get on to battle number 2, and this is a battle against Umbra as well. Once again, if you were one of my opponents in these videos, please let me know in the comment section, and if you enjoy the videos, people, drop a like on them. It really does help out the channel and only takes 1/10 of a second. So first Pokemon we got is Talonflame. I've got Avalugg, greatest matchup of the century, and now it's going to go for a Tailwind here. So I was like, okay, good. It didn't go for a Fire-type move. This is free real estate, right? So going for the Stone Mist, it lands, and Talonflame is down in one shot. So that was an excellent start to the battle there. Maybe, I'd say they 100% predicted me to swap. Now, the next Pokemon to come in here is going to be Silvally, and like, I think that's Steel Valley Steel, right? When you look at close, you can see there's like a grey color on the top there, and by my moves, I could tell that, you know, it was the Steel type. So Stomping Tantrum was my only option. It's like, well, that's going to do nothing, right? Because Steel Valley's got a bit of bulk to it, you know? And I was like, let's swap into Bravery. Might go for a Steel type move. I should be able to live this fine. So Flash Cannon hits, but it hits pretty hard when you think about it, and I get a special defense drop. Like, man, that sucks. Like, I was going to go for a Heat Wave there. So I decided to sack a Pokemon because I kind of had to there. However, Silvally is going to go for a Parting Shot, once again dropping my special attack this time. And we got the next Pokemon incoming being the Latios. I was like, all right, I went for Heat Wave there because my best move against Silvally, it's going to do nothing. I'm locked into that too, so I kind of have to swap out here. I might be able to make use of Bravery, later on in the game. So I thought, well, Lilligant's the most expendable Pokemon here, and now Latios is going to go for a Dragon Dance, so it's a physical set, or they're just trying to boost their speed, but I'd say it's running a physical set. And now at this stage, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go for an unexpected move here. I'm going to go for, unexpected. I'm going to go for a Healing Wish here. Take out my Lilligant, because let's face it, it's going to do 2 damage to Latios anyway. And what I'll do, right, is I'll give that Healing Wish and pass it on to the Braviary. So then Braviary can get all its health back, and then it can freely spam Hurricane and, do 2 damage instead of 1. So that's the idea anyway. So we got most of my health back there. I was actually thinking maybe I could Dynamax here. Like the first battle, like that. I mean, it didn't really go that well, but I thought I might try that. In the end, I decided, no, I'm not going to waste Dynamax. I'm just going to go for Hurricane. Now, Latios is going to go for another Dragon. It's like, man, I got to end this thing, right? So landing that Hurricane was my best bet of doing some damage, but unfortunately, I missed it. The Psycho Cut does not take me out, which was amazing, and I didn't get credit either. Hurricane does solid damage. Like, you can't complain about that one, right? So here comes the second Psycho Cut, and that is going to be the end of my Bravery. Things aren't looking too hot at the moment. Trust me, people. Like, it's +2 in attack, +2 in speed. Next Pokemon, I'm going to bring in Avalugg. Avalugg is thick. Absolutely thick. So I knew that I could live this, +8 sturdy too. So I ate that like a nice little snack, and I can go for Icicle Sphere here. There was no point going for Rock Polish because Latios was going to be able to outspeed me after that. So 2 Icicle Spheres were enough to take out the physical Latios threat. I mean, if I didn't have Avalugg, I think I would have lost there, like, real talk. So next Pokemon is going to be the Silvally. I know they're going to go for a Flash Cannon again or some sort of special move. I decided to stay in and try something different, right? I think they were expecting my Arcanine to come in, and that's why they went for Surf. So that was a good prediction, but I did think that could be an option they'd try. So I went for Stomping Tantrum, and I got some solid damage there. So I was really happy with that I decided in the end to stay in there, which definitely got some extra damage that I needed, instead of me losing my Arcanine or, swapping that in and then taking unnecessary damage. So now we're going to try a little trick here. We're going to go into Zoroark, which is disguised as Arcanine. They've popped the Dynamax button here. So, like, okay, if they take the bait, they will go for, well, I'd say they go for a Max Geyser, like, thinking that it's going to be an Arcanine, right? That's what I was hoping, but I don't know. Like, I only had 3 Pokemon left. So Zoroark had to be either disguised as my Arcanine already, or one of my other ones, like the Goodra, had to be disguised as one of those 2, or I didn't disguise it. So here comes the Max Geyser. Silvally just lives the Flamethrower there, which is very, very unfortunate. And Zoroark is going to be able to live the Max Geyser, and the illusion actually saved me there, which is amazing. So now it's going to rain a little bit there, and the Zoroark is going to be revealed. I really love Zoroark's illusion ability. It's so cool. I can't wait to use the new one. Like, I could use like both of them in one battle, and I don't know, I could come up with something pretty fun. I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, that is the end of the Silvally. That was quite a threatening Pokemon. That's got good bulk, good speed, good offense, and I'm going to get my Throat Spray there, which is great, boosting Zoroark's special attack, making it pretty much a threat. Now, the best Pokemon to swap into Zoroark without Sludge Bomb is going to be Clefable, and it outsped me with U-Turn. I was like, wait a second, that's a Zoroark too. So we both had a Zoroark and team preview, right? There was illusions left, right, and center, you know what I'm saying? So we got the Zoroark swapping out, which was definitely the Zoroark, because, Clefable ain't going to be learning U-Turn, right? And in comes Sceptile, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to try something here. I'm going to go for the Subdued, because at the moment, I'm at a kind of a disadvantage, because I can't use my Fire-type moves at their, fullest power. Now, the Sceptile's got a good coverage move for Arcanine, which is going to be Earthquake. So that was a great move there that I went for the Subdued. So that, I'd say, would have nearly taken him out, or, very, very close, depending on what the EV spread of the Sceptile is. I say they're running max speed and max tank. So go for another sub here. What I'm trying to do at this stage, I'm trying to stall the rain out and then hit the Sceptile with everything I got. So I believe it'll definitely leave my Flamethrower in the rain, right? So another sub is going to be down here, and the rain is finally going to stop, which is now going to set the stage for my Arcanine to try and take this out. Now, I know that I can outspeed it. I've got Dynamax as well, so I thought, you know what I should do? I feel like the Clefable is going to be a problem here, right? I'm not worried about Sceptile at all. I believe I can definitely live an Earthquake if I Dynamax in. Not very well, but I believe I can live it. And what I'll do, right, is I'll be able to set the Sun up, and that'll power up my next move against the Clefable. There is a Zoroark left too, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. I believe that it's Choice Scarf. That's what I was thinking. So going into Dynamax Arcanine, going for the Max Flare here, I was like, let's see if it has got a Focus Sash or something like that. It didn't, and that is the end of the Sceptile. So playing this Substitute there was definitely the best, play there. I could have, thinking what I could have done there. Look, I could have gone for Dynamax that turn and Max Flared and lived the Earthquake anyway, but I thought that was the better play. So next we got is the Clefable here. Now, Clefable is going to get hit by my Max Flare. Will it take it out? Absolutely not. Clefable's quite bulky, but I did a very, very good chunk of damage to it. Now the Clefable has gone for a trick. I'm like, oh, what is it going to give me, right? It gave me a Toxic Orb, and it got my Expert Belt too. That was my item. Sorry if I didn't say that earlier on. I thought that it would be pretty clever with the Zoroark and Arcanine combination for one to have Throat Spray instead of both of them Throat Spray, right? Because that would give away that it's a different Pokemon. So taking out the Clefable there with a unnecessary crit, and we've only got one more Pokemon left, which we already know is the Zoroark, because it was masquerading as the Clefable earlier on. So here it is. It will be able to outspeed me because I believe that it definitely is Choice Scarf. So it can use any Dark type move and take me out. It's going to go for a Dank Pulse here. I definitely won't be able to live that, but solid performance there by Arcanine. Really got me back into this game. Gave me a fighting chance. Next Pokemon is going to be good, right? Okay, this is where I'm going to be able to beat this thing, hopefully, unless I get really unlucky. So here comes the Dank Pulse there, and I get the Tox off. Like, good. That's absolutely what I needed. But I'm not out of the woods yet, because we don't know what other moves the Zoroark has. He could have, Nasty Plot or something like that if I am wrong about the item, or some other moves. I don't really know. So I've got to keep my guard up, people. So we got the Leftovers Recovery there, which is going to be good too. And pretty much Dark Pulse didn't do that much damage to me. So I've got Toxic up. All I need to get now is one Infestation, and that'll really speed up the process. So here comes another Dank Pulse here, and I get flinched like, oh no, here we go. So I was really worried about getting flinch and getting critted, because I do have a recovery move being Life Dew, but I'd like to get that some sort of damage up with the Infestation before that. Otherwise, I've got to wait a full 6 turns to take out Zoroark, right? 3 minutes of battle I decided to go for the Life Dew instead of go for Infestation. I thought, look, I could get really unlucky. Imagine if I got critted and flinched right there. That would have been terrible, right? So getting lots of my health back there. Pretty much here, I'm in a very, very strong position now. Zoroark would need to get like 2 crits in a row to actually take me out here. And, even 2 crits in a row may not do it. So here comes another Dank Pulse here from the Zoroark. It's not doing that much damage to me, and I get the Infestation off. That pretty much clinches the match for me there. Zoroark will not be able to get out of this unless it's got something like Rest, which I believe that it does. I definitely believe that it's more of a, of a special attacking offensive set. And that is pretty much the game here. The Zoroark has got one more turn before it faints. And we've got the Infestation kicking out. It's just going to live on a tiny little bit of health there. So its final move is going to be Dank Pulse. And get this, its final Dank Pulse actually flinched me too. So they got pretty close to actually taking me out there, which is interesting. But anyway, that is it for the Hisuian Forms Pokemon battle. Maybe in the future in Gen 9, we can actually use these forms, and I'll use every single one of them in a battle. That'll be really, really cool. I look forward to that day. But thank you for watching this video. I'll be back for another one tomorrow. Peace out, people.